Malcolm Jenkins and Michael Bennett, who have been very active in the fight against social injustice, are two of the players up for NFL's Walter Payton Man of the Year award. But there is one notable snub. Colin Kaepernick not on the list despite all of his efforts to eradicate inequality. Jalen, I'll start with you. Is Kaepernick deserving of this, the NFL Man of the Year award?
I know he isn't eligible because he isn't playing in the NFL. I know he isn't eligible because he's currently not playing in the NFL. Of course, Colin Kaepernick deserves this award, and it's not even close. Here's a gentleman that sacrificed his entire career ultimately for a cause bigger than himself, and he actually chose to do it in a peaceful way, and this got him out of the NFL. So it got me to thinking, how many quarterbacks are in the NFL? Right now, there are approximately 72. And I have some trivia for you guys, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Can you tell me where Chase Daniels is playing football? What about David Fells? What about Scott Tolzien? What about Ryan Mallett? I don't remember him since he was with the Patriots. My point is this. Colin Kaepernick, by sitting, then taking a knee, which, by the way, how about this imagery? A few years ago, there was a gentleman taking a knee after he scored a touchdown. It was called Tim Tebowing at that time. Mm-hmm. The same action done by Colin Kaepernick, look at the firestorm that it's caused. Mm-hmm. Because he chose to do it for a political cause versus a religious one. So I think he deserves this award. They should make an exception to go with all of the other awards he's been able to garner for this stand that he's taken, that is taking the NFL by storm, and it caused us all to create a conversation that was much needed.
Jalen Rose, I disagree, and that will probably come as no surprise to many. But first of all, and I know you'd know this, but the Walter Payton Man of the Year award is for excellence both on the field and off the field. And Colin is missing the on-the-field component. Even if he were eligible, he doesn't have the on-the-field component. And I agree with you, that is through no fault of his own. It is through the stance he took has dictated why he's on the field. The easy cop-out is he's not good enough. And you'll hear many people make this argument about Colin Kaepernick's play as to why he's on the field. I'm not one of them. I don't make that argument. It's obvious he's better than many of those quarterbacks. It's obvious he could have helped many NFL teams out this year, allow the Houston Texans to have performed better on the field. But that doesn't mean I think he should win the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. And the fact that he martyred his career, you're right. But what that has done, Jalen, to me, has simplified him. It's simplified him in a, for many, negative light, in others, in a simplified positive light, like he's a saint, like he's perfection, like he is the figurehead and the face of this cause. And what I'm here to tell you is this. I don't think that he should be. Now, I've said this before, but just take this as for what it's worth. Take my perspective is perhaps one that others share, and why Colin Kaepernick has been a poor representative of even a cause that on some level we can agree and on some other levels we disagree. Colin Kaepernick, from the beginning, my complaint has been oversimplified and therefore indicted way too many things. And I'll give you an example. When you kneel before the national anthem, before the American flag, what you've indicted is the United States of America to its very core. Not just the issues that you find the United States of America is falling short on, but the United States of America and its principles to its core. But he hasn't stopped there. The things he's done about police, not just the socks, but he posted on the 4th of July a slave catcher's badge and analogized that to modern day police. Now that is clearly an irresponsible, overly broad indictment that I don't know anyone can stand by and say that's a fair representation of where we stand in this country. And this is the problem he has presented again and again. And the point is this, there are others, even on this exact cause, who have advanced the ball, searched for solutions, brought in contributions. Colin has given his own donations, but brought in big money. Men like Malcolm Jenkins, who, while Malcolm and I sat across from each other, would probably disagree to some extent on some of these issues. But I would be able to acknowledge that he's advanced towards solutions in a responsible manner.
If he was looked at as a saint, Will, he would be in the NFL. That's
saint
not
by
accurate.
some, saint by some, villain by others. The point is I'm making is don't simplify him on either occasion. I'm not villainizing him and simplifying him in that box. And I don't think he deserves to be simplified and put into the saint box either.
When you're a trailblazer, people can say that you're a poor representative because it hadn't been done. How about this? I didn't know before he chose to take a knee. First, he was being seated. Then he took a knee out of respect for the military in the police force because he got criticized for this. I didn't know that that was not in the NFL bylaws. I was in the NBA standing next to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf when he did this 20 plus years ago as a member of the Denver Nuggets. The NBA made it a rule that you couldn't do it or you would be punished. So for him to even find that slither of opportunity to take advantage of the biggest platform that he has in his life. There's so many people speaking in the microphones about Colin Kaepernick and his charitable donations and his work, but they don't have foundations. They're not giving back to the community. So for me, that's a lot of bluster. For Colin Kaepernick, he has put his time, his energy, his career, and his money behind his cause. And you know what else I appreciate? He's not out here doing each and every interview. He's not out here like, look at me, banging his chest like King Kong. He owned it. And because he did so, he's garnered the level of respect for people like myself that feels like they should make an exception for him this year and find a way to give him this award.